could have been a dancer in a dive bar on the wrong side of town. I could have been a bouncer at a nightclub, but they knocked me down. I could have been a preacher, but the problem is I don't believe. So why don't you tell me, who do you see? Why don't you tell me, who do you want me to be? When the sky is falling, what do you want me to say? When my skin is crawling, what do you want me to do? When the world is burning, where do you want me to go? I'm just a weirdo, I'll never be a hero. I could have been a dealer on the corner, turning tricks to survive. I could have been a hitman, but I never could stand the sight of blood. I could have been a soldier, but the problem is I hate to bleed. So why don't you tell me, who do you want me to be? When the sky is falling, what do you want me to say? When my skin is crawling, what do you want me to do? When the world is burning, where do you want me to go? I'm just a weirdo, I'll never be a hero. When the sky is falling, when my skin is crawling, what do you want me to do? When the world is burning, where do you want me to go? I'm just a weirdo, I'll never be a hero. When the sky is falling, what do you want me to say? When my skin is crawling, what do you want me to do? When the world is burning, where do you want me to go? I'm just a weirdo, I'll never be a hero. I'm just a weirdo, I'm just a weirdo, I'm just a weirdo. My dead ringer. Suckers know my identity. Fucker dresses up like me, shows up where he shouldn't be, giving me that third degree. Let me cut right to the chase, not that easy to replace. Passport picture, names erased. He cleans up good, but that's my face. Another two-bit Romeo,
rob their mother for the ends. Rats snitch on one another for the ends. Sometimes kids get murdered for the ends. So before we go any further, I want my ends. I knew this cat named Bill, he didn't have a dollar. He was Harvard material, Ivy League scholar. Had a PhD, had an MBA, but now he's waiting tables cause it's rent to pay. Companies downsizing, inflation's rising. Can't find a job, he's feeling kinda stressed. Doesn't even feel the effects when he says, forgot to count how many times they've been blessed. So he falls off track, starts smoking the crack, and once it hits his brain, starts a chain react. Tells the shirt off his back, shoes off his feet. He's losing all his teeth, now he's out in the street. And all of a sudden it's like Jesse James trying to stick up kids for their watches and chains. But he's from business school and he's nervous with the tools, so he ends up on his back in a bloody pool for the ends. Some people will rob their mother for the ends. Rats snitch on one another for the ends. And sometimes kids get murdered for the ends. So before we go any further, I want my ends. I knew this chick named Sally, she had a nice strut, and everywhere that I went, she was up in the cut, swinging that butt like place your ad here. Only rap the men's that rock the fly gear. Brand name wearing, champagne waving, jewels around the neck, lifestyle she's craving. Ain't no saving, she's doing all spending. If you do the lending, she'll do the bending. Straight machine bending, it's money for tail. Shopping sprees, get her on her knees, and if you hit her with the keys to your crib, you acting funny. Come home one day, find her counting out your money. From the wetlands all the way to the Apollo. If you're broke, she's spitting. If you're rich, she might swallow for the ends. Some people will rob their mother for the ends. Rats snitch on one another for the ends. Sometimes kids get murdered